So you're facing Anthony Richardson, who has a bruised knee right now. He's a little bit nicked up. Next week, you're going to face the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're without their starting left tackle. Pittsburgh is without Deontay Johnson, their best receiver, and one of their best players in franchise history in Cam Hayward in week 4. And, oh, by the way, they might be one of the worst teams in the league. They're not good. They're right there with you. Texans have a massive opportunity against Indianapolis, and I think it's a must-win game for a number of reasons. I think the opponent comes into play, another team with a first-year coach, another team with a first-year quarterback. I think the fact that things are laid out the way they are, and I think the fact that when you don't win games that you're supposed to win, things can get out of control, and you can look up and end up losing 2 or 3 games.
You don't want it to get off the rails too soon, and this would have that potential, not just like on the field, but here we go again. I mean, it's weird. As impressive in a loss as you can be, the Texans were, right? With a rookie quarterback, the defense, the way it's played. And we were still getting messages yesterday. Same old Texans. Can you imagine if they actually lose to Indianapolis at home? That part of this whole dynamic, it matters right now. I said it earlier. I want to get to the point where it won't, where you can just say, okay, well, they lost the game. It happens. Any given Sunday, all that good stuff. Probably should have won, but whatever. But it does matter, how you're perceived in this city right now for the Texans. It also matters. They need some validation on the field. Like, C.J. Stroud still hasn't thrown a touchdown pass. Dameon Pierce and Devin Singletary still haven't looked like what we think they're going to look like on the ground. I get, with the offensive line and all that. Tank Dell had 3 catches after they figured out, how bad Noah Brown was. But he needs to be a more integral part. They need that validation. He needs to throw some touchdown passes. It's just on the field and off. This is a hugely important game.
Yeah, and I think that it could actually be a catalyst for him as well. Yeah. I mean, I think this could you could be looking at starting out 2-2. You could be looking at 1-1 Jacksonville because the Jags got the Chiefs this week. Mm-hmm. Chiefs are going to be desperate for a dub. So if the Chiefs go get that dub, you're facing Jacksonville. Both teams are 1-1. You're feeling good about yourself. And I also think the other thing about this is we're learning about D'Amico Ryans. We're learning about Bobby Slowick. And really where good coaches become good coaches is how they handle the week-to-week battles. Like, it's one thing to, go out against Baltimore and lose or whatever, but the week-to-week battles, that's when you really measure coaches. And D'Amico Ryans facing a quarterback who threw the ball 31 out of 37 times to the right side with a bruised knee. Yeah. As a defensive guy with a defense that you feel good about, and Bobby Slowick being able to put on the tape as a guy who used to do this for a living for Pro Football Focus before he went with Shanahan. If you want to have confidence in these guys, these are the types of situations where they're going to have to take advantage and capitalize. And you're also getting Anthony Richardson in his first road matchup. So it's just laid out perfectly. I would not be saying this, and I want to make this very clear. If the Texans were facing the Browns or the Bengals or the Jags in week 2, I wouldn't be saying this. But I think the opponent is part of the reason why I think it's as much of a must-win.
And I feel this is the kind of situation where D'Amico Ryans thrives as a defensive coach. Like, he's already seen what Anthony Richardson, his tendency is to always throw to the right and some of the ways that he's taking hits and stuff. I feel like he's going to thrive. But I was talking about validation, and you just reminded me of a very important one. How C.J. Stroud needs that validation, and they need to get this as a team collectively. Dameon Pierce needs that. Get Tank Dell more. Bobby Slowick needs validation. Bobby Slowick needs to come out dealing and get this offense going. That was not a great effort by him. And I'm his biggest fan, or was. So he needs that validation too. And then there's the whole fan aspect. That stadium is going to be packed. It's for sure. They're going to have at least one sellout this year, and it's going to be that game against the Colts. So it matters.
I also think this is a chance for Will Anderson to become perhaps the biggest star on the team. And I don't I'm not saying that tongue in cheek. I think that this could be the game because I don't think that Anthony Richardson has the instincts that Lamar Jackson has. And I heard Sho say this yesterday. I thought it was a good point. If that wasn't Lamar Jackson on Sunday, I think Will Anderson has 2.5 sacks, like two or three sacks, like because he was right there. Anthony Richardson ain't getting away like that. And in front of this crowd, Will Anderson, I think he has a chance to establish himself as that dude on this squad. He might already be.
Yeah.
But I think this is an opportunity for him with this quarterback in this situation to establish himself as that dude, to where when you're leaving the stadium and you're walking to your car and you just watch the Texans.
You got your chest out
Colts,
a little bit on Will Anderson.
Well, you stop by that souvenir shop and get you a 5-1.
Yeah.
You get you a 5-1, you put that on, you know damn well that's going to be something that's going to be a part of things for a long time. I think this is a big opportunity for Will Anderson, and I think he is that dude. And I think this is the perfect matchup for Will Anderson.
He's already ahead of every rookie defender there's been with the Texans.
He was the only one to get a sack.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think if he can establish himself, there's just so many reasons that this is going to be important. And then the practical ones, as you've talked about, like you gain that momentum, you're 1-1. Here you go to Jacksonville, take your chances, and then come back with Steelers, Falcons, and Saints. I think the Falcons are going to be pretty decent. Saints have a very good defense, but none of these games are scary. Can you imagine what this city is going to be like, or would be like, if, I don't know, 4-2? I know I'm getting ahead of myself.
Let's
No. I know I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm trying to tie it into the importance of this game.
Yeah,
because
this is the one. It's few and far between.
Yeah, because if you don't, you're 0-2. It's going to be hard to get to anything impressive. You know,
you're not saying this about the Chiefs.
No,
like if the Chiefs are 0-1, you're not saying this about the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Hell, the Jags wouldn't be saying this if they'd lost week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Your expectations are a little bit different. The wins are harder to come by, and oh, by the way, there's no more reward for being bad.
Yeah.
Like there's never going to be a point this season where we're 2-3 months in and we say, man, they got to start losing.
Yeah,
they got to start losing.
Hell, I said 4-2. What about 3-3?
Traded that first round pick. You take it.
Yeah,
you're in the
They
mix.
need to win as many games as possible
early.
You're in the mix
early.
You got to do it. So that's just where I'm
no
at.
more tanking.
And I'm not sitting here deep steel blue glasses on. I'm just saying, imagine what could happen if they get it right early, and they get lucky. If it's luck, or they show just how much they've improved. Just imagine what this city will turn into.